People of Christ in the City, people of everywhere around the world, this is David Christopher Pacheco.
Hi, my name is Kimmy.
My name is Arthur Ortiz. Been in Denver since 1973.
Okay, so let's just talk in circles for a little bit.
Just talk in circles, just shoot the breeze a little.
Yeah.
Now they see beyond what I look like. They see what my actions are and say, hey, that is a good person.
A lot of people say home is where the heart is, but my heart's in many places. It's just I don't know where home is.
Welcome to Homeless But Human, a Christ in the City podcast where we talk about how to step out of your comfort zone and serve the poor wherever you live. I'm your host, Blake Brulliette, Managing Director at Christ in the City, and with me is my co-host.
Hi, my name is Shayla Elm, and I'm the Community Engagement Manager here at Christ in the City.
First of all, I am so glad you're here with us. Each year, we have thousands of people who have touch points with Christ in the City. Those who we encounter, those who are moved by this mission, or those who are just curious about service to the poor. At Christ in the City, we know not everyone can be on the streets daily. But what we do know is that so many of you, those who have encountered us and want to be friends with us and have been friends with us, you want to know how to serve the poor. And you have been saying for years, we want more, right? We want more formation. We want more assistance. And that's what this podcast is for you, wherever you may live, no matter what state of life you are in, whether your mission territory happens to be your children, or your mission territory happens to be your college campus, or even your unique missionary moment, wherever that may be in the world.
And these people that are coming from all across the country, they are wanting to bring a piece of Christ in the City back to their own communities.
And we love the story Shayla brings back to the office because she gets to hear from people all over, not just the country, but even the world. Did you think you'd be working with people from everywhere, Shayla?
I did not. That wasn't necessarily part of the job description that I would be communicating with people, obviously mostly across the United States, but some in other countries as well who are inspired by Christ in the City's mission and that want to do it in their own towns as well.
Yeah, and boy, do we have fun with that. All these stories, all these amazing testimonies, and people just like you who just had this little hunch and decided to serve and to pray and to, love their communities and build communities around them.
Right. And oftentimes that's inspired by the Holy Spirit. And we definitely recognize that people look to us to help guide them. But really, this is the work of the Lord, the work of the Holy Spirit. Yeah,
completely. When we look at what we do at Christ in the City, we get such a wonderful window into the lives of the homeless. In this podcast, we are thrilled to give you so many different views and worlds of the homeless that we get to encounter on a daily basis. And those are those stories. You'd be amazed at how many of our friends just love to have their voice be heard by you. And we're here to give them that opportunity. And I know Shayla and I have both had a lot of experience interviewing the homeless, and they are so willing to share an honest and vulnerable in kind of a shocking way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's what makes us unique is that we're trying to approach the problem of homelessness in a different way than any other organization is doing currently. And we approach it in a way that is very relational.
Absolutely. And it's something that, we've seen that as important as the basic needs are, as important as money is to solve the problem, when we look at homelessness, the root of the problem is ruptured relationships. We found that there are many places that the homeless can eat. There are many places for them to sleep, but there's no place that sends people out to truly encounter them. And when the root of the problem, like we discussed, is ruptured relationships, the path to healing has to be relational. Oftentimes, our homeless friends will tell us, you guys loved me when I didn't love myself. These are, 20-something-year-old kids, as the homeless like to call us, who just simply show up and encounter the poor, calling them by name, asking them how their days were going.
Right. And like you said, like people become homeless for many different reasons, whether that be what a lot of people think, addictions, whether that be they lost their job, they were evicted from their home, they had family issues. But we can center all of that back to this sort of broken relationship, this sort of detachment from society, and a broken relationship with yourself, right? So, when you end up homeless, or whether that was a choice that you made yourself, there's a certain part of your humanity that you have to let go of, that you have to say, you know what, maybe I'm not worth a house, or maybe people don't believe in me, so why should I believe in myself? And that's where Christ in the City is trying to answer this root, this problem of homelessness, where it's, they are really hungry for relationship and hungry for communion with other people.
Absolutely. And to show you that, we want to introduce you to our first homeless friend who we are going to have on this show, where you truly get to see his humanity. And Shayla was actually involved in the recording of that one. Shayla, you excited to introduce this speaker?
Yeah, so we were able to interview our friend Chris, and really just ask him, like, how do you want to be approached on the streets? How would you want someone walking by you on the streets to talk to you? What should they talk about? How should they pass by, or should they just pass by? And Chris had some really awesome responses that just really hit home what we're trying to do here at Christ in the City.
Yeah, if you ever come to our lunch in the park, you're almost guaranteed to see Chris, as he's become a friend of not only our missionaries and staff, but many of our volunteers as well. So I'd like to introduce you to Chris, and let's hear what he has to say about how do you want people to treat you.
For someone who is homeless, what would be something that you would want to hear as a homeless person from a passerby?
Have a nice day. It's hard to say, you're going up to them and ask, how can I help you? Because there's going to be a myriad of different answers you get. The best one is you just acknowledge their existence in a very positive way. Instead of skirting them and saying, ooh, just say, hey, have a nice day. And that is valuable.
What would be some things that you would want to talk about with a stranger, someone you just met?
Someone I just met, maybe sports. That's a good common denominator right there. Because you just don't go up and talk to someone and get their personal details and everything. You have to build to that. So you find common ground first, and then build up to, the person. For me, books. That is always the way to my heart real quick. No matter what topic you pick, I probably read at least one book on that topic.
This probably seems really simple and obvious, but how do you want to be treated?
Like a human. That's it. I want to be treated like a person, a regular person. I may be homeless, I may be dirty, yes, a little smelly, but I'm still, underneath it all, I'm still human. Treat me like that, with dignity and respect. That's something you all have mastered. A lot of people haven't. You do treat every one of us like humans and with respect. The thing is you have to convince the person that they deserve it. Because a lot of times when you're in a tough situation, you don't feel like you deserve anything. So you have to sit down and, let them know you do deserve good things. You deserve a good life. Not, you should have a car or this or that. No, but you should be respected, treated nicely. It at least lets you know there is somebody out there that cares for you, that you're not alone in this world. That's the most valuable friendship you could ever have. And even though you may not have much, friendship like that is everything. You may be alone and by yourself in the middle of the night, but you can say, I know X person, they know me, and I bet they're thinking of me, so I'm not really alone in this world.
Yeah, it's kind of like they see me,
Yeah, they know me, they know I exist. I may not be the most stellar of people, but this person likes me for who I am, not what I am. They see beyond what I look like. They see what my actions are and say, hey, that is a good person. Knowing I have friends like you out here helps. I come out here and I can just be a happy person, not worry about anything, and get treated really nicely.
It's always good to see you.
It's always nice to see you guys.
Thank you for sharing, really.
No problem.
Truly. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Treat me like a human. My goodness, Chris just knocks it out of the park. We just absolutely love him. And man, Shayla, what was your favorite thing Chris said?
I just love how he just said, I just want to talk about books. If you're going to pass by, just at least say something positive, like give me a hello, how are you doing? Or just when someone simply just passing by, it's as simple as acknowledging that person is a person, that they're there. And
notice he didn't say anything that's that hard to do. Right. I was so impressed with that. He's just like, I even forget that sometimes, right? It's like you approach someone and you just want to fix all their problems. Mm-hmm. But Chris is like, no, just smile at me. Talk to me about sports. You don't have to come up with some crazy thing to discuss. And my goodness, who can't talk about the weather or sports for a little bit, Right. And another thing I really love about what Chris said was when he was talking about how, when someone on the streets has a friend, maybe a friend of one of our missionaries, when they might feel alone, they can know that they're actually not alone, and that, they can think about, he said, in the middle of the night, like when you're feeling alone or whatever, that person, might be thinking about you or might care about you. And so we feel supported, and we're creating like a greater community. Yeah. We aren't so different than the homeless, right? Homeless, but human. That's a human thing right there.
Exactly.
You and I both, Shayla, it's like knowing that we are loved, right? Knowing that we have, even on the hard days, that there's someone in your corner. And I think Chris knows that from us. He really does. And he believes it. And I've seen such a change in him since we first met him, where he would barely talk to anyone. And now he did a book club with the missionaries. He is truly one where he didn't need much from us from a material standpoint.
No, he didn't.
Chris just needed some friends.
Exactly. Yeah, he would come around for lunches, and he wouldn't actually even get a lunch. He would actually just come to talk with the missionaries and to be with us and hang out.
Truly, he is the embodiment of what we do on the streets, just becoming friends with the poor, who are, again, not any different than us. And what a gift Chris is to us, and what a joy it has been to get to know him. And what a fun interview. Great interview with him, Shayla. That was good.
Yeah, thanks. It was an awesome one to do.
Again, we are so grateful to be beginning this podcast journey with you, the listener, the friend of Christ in the city. We are excited to show you a greater insight into the lives of the homeless, and just share from Shayla and I some of the experiences and missionaries and staff we'll have on this podcast to give you an insight into our lives with Christ in the city as well.
Yeah, we are excited to take you along this journey with us and to discover how you can actually make some changes in your own life and how you can better encounter the stranger on the street.
Mother Teresa, one of our patrons, would say, if I look at the masses, I will not act. If I look at the one, I will. Because of these one-on-one encounters, because of people like you stepping out of your comfort zone, this mission is spreading. This mission is making its way into parishes, schools, seminaries, and communities nationwide. We have families making care kits for the homeless, college students coming on week-long mission trips and then going back on fire to serve the poor in their cities, seminarians and small groups across the country doing Christ in the City style street ministry. This mission is becoming a national and worldwide endeavor, and we're so happy you're here. For even more in-depth Christ in the City training, exclusive videos, and interviews with the homeless, we invite you to join our known and loved monthly giving community. This is one of the most impactful ways you can join us in this mission. Visit christinthecity.org and make a monthly gift today to join our known and loved community and receive a special Christ in the City gift. Imagine with me for a moment if every homeless person had one friend who cared about them. What a difference that would make in the world. And what if that one friend is you? You can listen to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, podcast platforms. And do us a favor and go hit subscribe and leave us a review. Again, check us out more at christinthecity.org. God bless you.